Hi BookTube. So this is going to be a really quick Friday Reads video. Just getting ready to go to bed. I just got back home from work and got to get up early to go back to work again in the morning. So crazy schedule right now. So I don't have a whole lot of time. I just want to just jump right in and get to the point here. So the only thing I've finished reading so far is a manga that I picked up and I borrowed it from work. It's called Ebitsu. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Haruto Ryo is the mangaka, and it's a one-volume manga. It's a horror manga about this creepy girl. She's described as a Gothic Lolita. I'm just going to read the back of it. This features a lot about urban legends. It says, an urban legend has it that a girl in Gothic Lolita garb will sometimes appear at a local garbage drop in the middle of the night, putting a question to passersby. Would you have a little sister? She asks. To reply is to seal one's fate and meet with a diabolical death at the hands of none other than this twisted sister. And tonight, another man will fall prey to the horror. So there's her sitting kind of just in the middle of a garbage dump with her umbrella. And she's got this weird stuffed doll. And this young boy named Oni-chan happens to be taking out the garbage that night and encounters this bizarre woman. At first, he doesn't know if she's homeless or something. There's Oni-chan. But he's a little creeped out by her, and he kind of just walks away, but then she's there again another night, and then he does answer the question, much to his doom, and suddenly she's just obsessed everywhere. She keeps turning up, sneaking into his apartment. Lots of weird, creepy stuff starts happening, and just affecting everything in his life. I thought it was a really great, really creepy story. The illustrations were fantastic. There's a section in the middle, though, that I'm a little confused as to why it's there. It's about another urban legend with another different group of people that doesn't seem to be in any way connected to the other story. And this group goes to visit this abandoned warehouse on a dare. And there's an urban legend surrounding that as well. It's apparently haunted. And if you write your name on the wall on the top floor, as a couple, you'll be a couple for the rest of your life. So they break up into groups, boy, girl kind of thing, and their goal is to kind of make it to the top floor. But there's also some kind of legend about this warehouse, about some guy that committed suicide there, and he was saying love was fleeting or something like that. He was trying to build like this perfect doll, and there's lots of weird things going on with dolls in here. I actually thought that story was almost more creepier than the main story. The imagery of it was just kind of stuck with me a little bit. And yeah, I really enjoyed the thing overall, but I just don't understand why that was sort of like stuck in the middle. I didn't really see any connection. I don't think there were any characters that were from the other story. Just maybe they were from the same school or something. I don't know. I don't really remember that part, but it just seemed like a little bit like of a intermission from the rest of the story, because you do go back to Oni-chan and this Gothic Lolita in the rest of the book. So anyway, I really enjoyed it. If you're looking for a really good Gothic horror, this is definitely one to give it a shot. I'm still listening to Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia on my audio. I don't know if I ever gave you the whole description of this. Like I said, I had seen it, a lot of people talk about it on BookTube, but I didn't really know a whole lot going into it. I'll just read a little bit of the description. If you don't want to hear it and you want to go into it blind like I did, stop listening for now until you see the next book pop up. Anyway, it says, after receiving a frantic letter from her newlywed cousin begging for someone to save her from a mysterious doom, Noemi Taboada heads to High Place, a distant house in the Mexican countryside. She's not sure what she will find. Her cousin's husband, a handsome Englishman, is a stranger, and Noemi knows little about the region. Noemi is also an unlikely rescuer. She's a glamorous debutante, and her chic gowns and perfect red lipstick are more suited for cocktail parties than amateur sleuthing. But she's also tough and smart with an indomitable will, and she's not afraid, not of her cousin's new husband, who is both menacing and alluring, not of his father, an ancient patriarch who seems to be fascinated by Noemi, and not even of the house itself, which begins to invade Noemi's dreams with visions of blood and doom. Her only ally in this inhospitable abode is the family's youngest son. Shy and gentle, he seems to want to help Noemi. I keep wanting to say Naomi. He seems to want to help Noemi, but might also be hiding dark knowledge of his family's past, for there are many secrets behind the walls of High Place. The family's once colossal wealth and fated mining empire kept them from prying eyes, But as Noemi digs deeper, she unearths stories of violence and madness. As Noemi, mesmerized by the terrifying yet seductive world of High Place, may soon find it impossible to ever leave this enigmatic house behind. Yeah, some of these dreams are starting to show up in the parts where I'm at now, and they are pretty creepy, so the horror part is starting to kind of ramp up a little bit, so I'm enjoying that a lot. Okay, you can come back now if you didn't want the whole synopsis of it. Anyway, the next book that I'm currently reading on my Kindle is A Friend in Need. This is by Judith Jackson. This is just a book I downloaded. It's one of those cozy mysteries. It says it's the first one in the Bluebell Cafe Cozy Mystery series. And I'll read the synopsis for you again. Harriet Pickles, love this name, is living her dream, one mishap at a time. It is springtime in Vermont, and Harriet's life is finally on a roll. The Bluebell Cafe, her pride and joy, is a success, and someday soon it may even be solvent. In her scant free time, she ghostwrites her grand's wildly popular advice column and tends to her beloved one-eyed, cross-dressing English bulldog, which you saw on the cover of the book. But then Seven Oaks experiences its first murder in as long as anyone can remember, and the police investigation hits way too close to home. In order to save her cafe, Harriet and her best friend Claire are forced to conduct their own search for the killer. To further complicate matters, Harriet's long-ago boyfriend, the love of her life, has moved back to town, and if her legs would just stop wobbling every time the two of them are together, it would be easier to pretend she's completely over him. A Friend in Need is a cozy mystery full of tasty food, lots of laughs, and a hint of romance. Apparently there's recipes in it, as a lot of cozy mysteries have. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I like the character a lot. Harriet Pickles. She got the unfortunate moniker of Harriet Pickles from a bully she had experienced at school. Anyway, yeah, I love the whole setting of it. It like I said, the murder takes place a little too close, and herself and her cook and a couple of people from the cafe are kind of main suspects. So she's really pressed to try and find out who the killer is to free their names. And then in addition to that, I am still slowly reading. Every once in a while I'll pick up this book and read another little story within the James Herriot Best Of collection. So I'm just currently on page 58 on that one. So haven't made a whole lot of progress in this, or even really the Mexican Gothic audiobook. I hadn't listened to it in the past couple of days, just a little too rushed for work and everything. So I haven't had a chance to really listen to it as much as I wanted to. But I did it again today on my drive and really enjoying it. So anyway, that's what I'm reading. Hope you guys are reading something good, and I'm going to go to bed now. Good night.